This is the end of physical mega churches as we know it.
Yes.
How old are you?
40.
40.
Yes.
On the nose.
On the nose.
40. I don't know anybody in your generation, you can correct me. I don't know anybody in your generation who has broken ground to build.
Yeah. Because
it's rehabbing a space.
Yeah.
Or changing the monocular, but to erect is a whole different thing. My church holds around 7,000 to 8,000, but we see 40,000 online.
Right.
And the old saints, y'all clutch your pearls, reach for your asthma pump, you ain't gonna like it. The sanctuary is shifting into the studio.
Yeah.
The real sanctuary is out there.
Yeah.
If you only preaching what's in front of you, you are missing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell me what you think on the whole wave of the shift to online worship.
I just think the church is generally in denial about what's happening in the culture.
Yeah.
So every single industry is impacted by the internet. You can't get around it. There was a time where people said, ain't nobody about to shop online.
Listen.
Internet, what is that?
And 2 malls close a week.
Yeah.
And Amazon is the biggest retailer in the world.
And when Amazon came out, it was just books.
Yes.
And then they started selling clothes online. Ain't nobody about to buy clothes online. You want to be able to put your hands on it, right?
Yeah.
And then started selling shoes online. Freedman's, downtown Atlanta.
That used to be the joint. Now, listen, big ups to Freedman's.
Yeah.
My father used to come preach revival in Atlanta. Bring me shoes from Freedman.
Absolutely.
When I was in high school.
Legendary.
I got down here. I'm choking on the fumes going up the steps. I was like, they got gators on the wall that Magic Johnson used to wear. Man,
Shaq,
I can't buy nothing in here.
Yeah.
The whole landscape has shifted.
Everything has shifted. So how would that not affect the church?
Yes.
Right. So what a lot of people don't recognize is that I think one of the studies I read says 77% of people said their primary community operates online.
Wow.
Right. Even if there is an in-person component,
yes,
it operates online. Right. So if I believe the work of the church is to build community, to bring people together, and people are coming together online.
Yeah.
But everywhere I go, church folk are so resistant to building community online. And I'm like, what do y'all think is going? Why do y'all think nobody's coming to your church? So I'll go into a space and I'll teach about digital community building. I've had people get up out of my sessions and walk out because they thought I was going to come in and tell them how to get people back into the building. And I'm like, no, you need to talk to them where they are and minister to them where they are. And they become a part of your community where they are.
What I need you to help unpack for pastors who are watching, media ministries that are watching, online church is not you just pressing the live button. What is online church? Because a lot of people, we streaming on Facebook.
Right.
We online. But that's not building any community. It's really just sanctified Netflix.
Absolutely.
So we just going based off of views and not on building community.
Absolutely. It's voyeurism. You know?
Wow.
I want to thank the folk who are watching us worship today.
Yes.
Y'all give the online viewers a hand.
Yes.
Right. Instead of we are in community with each other. So just my operation is pretty expansive. Right. So people are drawn to it by content, and then they join, and then they stay for a community because we have spaces digitally where people are talking all throughout the day, sharing posts, and sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's not. You know, we're talking about food, we're talking about fashion, we're talking about sports. Right. We're just in community with each other. But even if you just start with Sunday morning, pastors have to stop telling people to put their phone up and worship. For the love of God, stop telling people to put their phones up and worship, because you could connect the people in the room to the people on the stream if you encourage people to interact during worship on the stream. So yeah, when I'm preaching, you can't say to me all the stuff you want to say, but you could type it in the chat.
Yeah.
And then somebody else who's on the other side of the world, who is here right now as well, is going to be like, oh, I thought the same thing. Now y'all are getting connected. Now community is being formed in real time. But if you always talking about put them phones up, you need to be focused on the Lord. The Lord is in our midst.
Yes.
And not just in our physical midst, in our digital midst.
Yes.
So just, encourage people to engage online even during worship, because it makes for such a robust experience that people look forward to. Like in my church, the chat is sacred. Ministry.
Tell me what that means. The chat is sacred.
When we gather, because most of what we do is digital.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're doing a live podcast recording, we have a live digital audience for the podcast recording.
Yes.
And they are ministering to each other in real time. So it's there's a separate service going on in the chat.
Got it.
People are encouraging each other. People are sharing their stories and their testimonies in the chat in real time. And then I have ministers in our community who then affirm these people and expand on what they're saying, all in real time. And for the people who was like, that's too much for me, then just turn the chat off.
Okay, so help me. The chat is sacred.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you said.
Yes.
On record. That's sacred space.
Yes.
So in that sacred space, because you freed me and you don't even know it. And you don't even know that's how you got in this chair today. You freed me. I need to know how in sacred space, as the high priest over this community, how are you clapping back in sacred space? Because I listen, I got to wrestle with myself. Because I'm like, Lord, walk away. They don't want the West Baltimore on me.
No,
please.
let it out.
People always got something to say. And I'm telling you, I got to fight. I got to hold my wife back because she's super fly snooker. She's going to jump in that ring and wrestle people down to the ground.
Yeah.
And I saw you the other day. I don't know if it was the best of your 24 claps or something. I'm reading all of them. Like, get them. Listen, it was a fight in the cafeteria. I was jumping on top of the table. How, as a believer, I try to model myself as best I can as a disciple of Dr. King and keeping the peace.
Right. Right.
But you are the Pentecostal Huey P. Newton. You are coming out with guns blazing.
Yeah.
How do you not just walk away when saints are just saying something that's crazy and unfounded?
So, that's part of that is my personality. I just naturally don't care, right? I was just kind of, I come from a disruptive household. Like, my dad was disruptive. And I am very diplomatic when I need to be.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that I want to say that I don't say because I don't want it to ruin my witness.
Yeah.
I also understand that when I'm dealing with fundamentalists online who get in my comments, I understand that unlearning is an act of will.
Mm.
If you want to unlearn the stuff that you know to be true,
yes,
that is really a belief. And
yes.
I don't knock your belief, but when you confuse your beliefs with facts, that's when we got a problem.
Yes.
So I can tell by the tone of a comment if you are willing to unlearn.
Mm.
And if I didn't send for you,
yes.
there's no need for you to come for me.
Yes.
And if you do come for me, I match energy because I got a petty nature.
Yeah.
I just only let it out when it needs to come out. So a lot of those people just give me an outlet from my pettiness that I normally would just keep to myself.
Yeah, but you the high priest. You carry in the sacrament. So even if it's willing to be unwilled.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
I built my ministry like this.
Yeah.
So that's slightly different in my context. The era of social media has allowed me to build my ministry as my fully authentic self.
Okay. Be our digital apostle today.
All right.
When do saints engage or walk away, drum roll, from strangers' opinion?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yo,
not for you. I'm saying for our listeners, for our community, sometimes, man, why you got that dress on? Why you wear them earrings with that? Why in the world did you post a picture of steak? Because people got something to say on everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Give us the litmus test of when to respond, when to block, when to ignore.
I believe that is a personal decision for each individual, right? So what I tell my community is don't argue with people with the intent of convincing them. They're committed to misunderstanding you.
Wow.
So you can't convince someone who is committed to misunderstanding you.
I love all of that.
And when I recognize there's somebody in my comments who came with the intent to understand me, now I'm just going to troll you back.